Hi, I'm Jessa. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble the Bellababy Wearable Breast Pump.
Okay, so we're assembling the Bellababy pump here. So let's make sure we have all our components. So this is the soft silicone component that goes against your body. It combined with this hard plastic component make up the collection component. We have a soft diaphragm that goes between the collection and the motor. We have, of course, our motor, which also has the controls on it. And then we have a valve, which goes inside our hard collection piece. And this is an optional component here. This is an insert, which goes inside the soft silicone component. When I ordered this pump, it came with a 24 millimeter, and I need a smaller size, so this is a 17 millimeter. For your reference, this is the Maymon brand, and I got the long version as opposed to the short version. So this is an optional component, but you may have this. So let's go ahead and just start with the hard collection component. We need to get our valve inside this. So inside here, we have this little circular area. You can see it from the bottom here, this here, and our valve fits inside there. So there is a ridge along the valve, and that ridge is going to go inside. So I like to start from kind of the far side and press down and then push up. And then that kind of snaps in, and that valve is in place. It doesn't matter which direction it's facing, it should work no matter what. So the valve is in place there. So the next thing we need to do is get this silicone component, the soft component, on. This is a key part because if you don't get it on all the way, it will leak. So if you don't have a good seal, this is your collection zone. So if you don't have a good seal, that can be a problem. So this circle goes around the circle inside the hard component here. So we will place that around that. And you can see that that presses in nicely. So that's nice and secure there. Then I need to, sometimes it's off a little, it's like a little twisted. So just twist it to straighten it. And that doesn't affect the inside there. And then I need to make sure that this silicone piece, which has this ridge, is on the hard plastic all the way around. So we'll starting here. I usually like to start at the base and work my way up to the top because I want the base to be the most secure because that's where my milk is. So I press pretty hard to get that base nice and on and have your corners there. If you're having trouble with it, sometimes it helps not to just push to the side, but to actually push down. So if you push it more on instead of flat, sometimes that helps. It does take a little doing, I find. But you'll be able to start working your way. So again, pressing either down like this on directly or pressing it like a sandwich between your two fingers there. I will save this last part until I've got everything on because I find that sometimes when I do that component, I snap the side off. So I'll go back to the bottom and I'll start again here. I'm pressing slowly along with my fingers to get that nice and secure. So I have a nice secure fit. If you have any holes here on the bottom, your milk will leak out because this is the collection component. So just be careful with that. Now I'm up here at the top and you see that I've got this gap. And again, sometimes pressing it this way doesn't really do anything if I'm pressing this way. So I like to press down from the top and that should help. But to be honest, sometimes I just leave it because as I'm messing with this and as I get the motor on, sometimes the motor helps get this on more tightly. And the other thing is that it's at the top. So I'm not as worried about a good seal on the top. But as you see, it just took a little futzing with it. And by pressing down there, I managed to get it all the way on. But at the top, there's already a gap there anyway. So it's not going to affect the function of the pump if this is a little bit off. But I like to have it on because I like it to be secure. And I like to feel like it's secure. Okay, so then if you do have your Maymon insert, then you go ahead and place that inside and make sure it's nice and secure. So that is to make this small opening smaller so that it fits your body more closely. This should decrease nipple pain if you do that. Then I need to get my my diaphragm on that goes between the motor and the actual pump. So this is an essential component because it keeps liquid getting into your motor. So this piece has a little triangle. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a triangle on here, and it's on the rounded side. So there's a flat side and a rounded side. So the flat side goes towards the back of the pump, and the rounded side faces out. The other way to tell this is that there's an arrow here on the outside of the pump. So that arrow and this little arrow match up. So you'll place that in. Again, there's a little ridge, and so you want to make sure that you've got that nice and tight. Okay? And you see, again, like I say, this top component is sometimes tricky to get on. So like I say, once I get the motor on, that should really help. Okay? Now we have the motor. We have this indent here that's going to go on top of this component that sticks out, and then the flat side goes against the flat. So you're going to want to press the motor on, and then you don't want any gap here. So you need to make sure there's no gap. You want to really press it on tight to make sure that there's no gap between the motor and the hard plastic component. And then that is the assembly for the Bellababy in bra pump.